Yeah, buddy. My son is the one out there with his jersey half on, doing everything but what he's supposed to be doing. Well, I mean, he scored, but this is just a little scrimmage. This is just practice. This isn't real. And I'm sorry, I don't have this on here. I don't have my little tripod to hold it steady. And normally I would be sitting down, but those mosquitoes are stupid. They have no mercy. They bite you. See, one just got me. They bite you through your pants. They even bit me through my seat. So these mosquitoes are very unforgiving out here. So I just do the best that I can with what I got. What up, A team? We have a lot of the parents in their cars because these mosquitoes are so unforgiving. You got one parent walking around. See, he's swatting mosquitoes away from him. I'm swatting them away from me. I mean, these mosquitoes are crazy. Like, I don't know what they're made of, but so I got some bad news, y'all. Y'all know my favorite pair of glasses, my glasses that I wear, the big ones. I lost them here. What up, Couch, brother Couch X? Do you guys remember the last time I went live out here and I walked over there towards that? I got in the car and couldn't find them. So I looked everywhere where I walked, but I didn't. I relied on my son to grab the chair to fold it up and bring it. And I didn't go back to where it was. So I went back and watched the video. And I remember sitting down in my blue fold up chair, taking those glasses off and sitting them in the cup holder. So the next day, I came back here to the church, went on the field, looked, didn't see it, went to the office, asked them if they had a loss. Yes, my signatures. I lost my signature glasses. And those glasses were, I mean, they weren't too expensive. They were probably like 150 altogether, but the prescription was up to date and they transitioned from, shades to regular glasses. And they were cute. I got compliments on those glasses all the time, and I lost them. The coach said nobody turned them in. The people at the church said nobody turned them in. They're not on the grass over here. I looked, Couch. I can't find them. Evening, G. So I'm mad, y'all. I'm so mad that I lost my glasses. I mean, every day I think about them damn glasses. I mean, I do have a newer prescription. Like these are prescription. These are stronger. But the other ones was my faithfuls, man. Them was my faithfuls. I could wear them at night. I could wear them in the sun. These, they don't transition. Yes, A-Team, I checked everything, baby. Everything. And my feelings are still hurt about them glasses. I mean, I guess I could just order another pair, and then update the prescription. But I'm mad that I spent so much money on these at Target and they don't transition. And the ones that they had that transition, the shades, the frames were ugly. So at night I have to switch out to my regular military issue, you know. But yeah, soccer season is back. It's back. Last soccer season last fall. Trust me, I was. Trust me, I was. I was looking like somebody wearing my glasses. But I have astigmatism too, so it's not gonna work for them. You know what I'm saying? Even if they did try to cop them, it's like it ain't gonna work for you. But I'm just like, if somebody saw them, why wouldn't they just turn them into the coach? Like, why would you just? I don't know. It's so weird. Anyways, giving all honor and glory to the Most High for waking us up this morning, giving us a chance to be better today than we were yesterday. Um, not yesterday. But last soccer season, last fall, my son missed most of soccer because I was sick. For those of you that don't know, I had a herniated disc, a bulging disc that affected my nerves. And I literally couldn't walk. I couldn't, amen, that's right. I couldn't walk. I couldn't sit at a 90-degree angle at all because of the pain shooting all the way down from here, all the way down to my left side. So, of course, at first they thought, they misdiagnosed me with something else until they did an MRI and realized, oh, you have a bulging disc. It's pressing on your nerve. So, this is why you're having pain and you can't feel your leg. So my son missed practice, and it was really sad because it's like, damn, I should have some friends or somebody that, could bring him to practice for me or take him to his game, stuff like that. I know we ended up catching Uber a couple times to practice. And then the last game, I think we caught an Uber here. And he had missed so much, but he made up for it. That last game, ooh, my baby was out there playing his heart out, you know? And so, yes, me too. Praise God. I'm so happy. I mean, because I don't look nothing like I look like back October. I mean, I don't look like I can drive now. I can't do everything that I want, which is depressing because when you're used to being very active and you have young children, you want to be able to do certain things. And so I'm just limited. And so sometimes I'll push myself, like us going to the water park for spring break. We couldn't really do much because of my pain. Um, but I did what we could. You know what I'm saying? We went to the movies, we went to the park. I let him veg out on his Roblox. You know what I'm saying? I had to make up for it in certain ways. So I pushed myself at the water park. I really did, for his sake, even though there's tons of kids there. And of course, he banded with some other kids and stuff like that. But of course, he wants me to ride rides with him and stuff like that. So I took a chance and rode a couple and did all that walking. Oh, bless you too. Um, and so I was in a lot of pain the next day. So all I did was just chill, make sure he had dinner, but I rested most of the time. And so that's just what I'm learning to do is just kind of take it easy and do what I can, not overdo it. And if I overdo it, rest afterwards, right? So, anyways, during that time, there was a storm coming because October is like hurricane season. So I ended up moving my vehicle out of my parking lot into the side street, which is right in front of my townhouse, right? And because I couldn't walk and I couldn't drive, anytime I sat down, it was just this excruciating pain, like a 10 out of 10. I can't describe it. I don't wish it on nobody, not even my worst enemy. So, anyways, I moved my car because it was storm coming, and I have a lot of pine trees, huge pine trees in front of my house, and they also come over my parking structure where I park. Jesus loves you too. So, my neighbor, who was 78, I believe, and he either just turned 78 or 79. Um, I wanted to ask him to move my vehicle back from the side of the street to my parking structure because I have two parking spots, right? Each townhouse has their own two parking. Um, so I go and I'll go to knock on his door. And I knew that he had a wife in there that was sick. I'd never met the wife, never seen her, nothing, right? But I knew she was ill and not able to walk and that she had dementia and things like that. So he was taking care of her even though he was old himself, right? Didn't know how bad it got until I knocked on that door to ask him to move my car and put it back in there. He wouldn't answer, but I could hear her voice in the house saying, "Help! Help!" And I'm like, "Ma'am, you okay? No, help!" I'm like, "Well, where's your husband? He's not here." I'm like, "He's here because the truck is here and his car is here, so he's in the house." So oh, that was a big mosquito. So I'm knocking hard, like, Mister, not gonna say his name, knock, 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 knock. No answer. I'm just like, what the hell? So she's still in there screaming. And I'm like, I don't know what to do, right? I'm on crutches, I'm incapacitated, but I hear this lady yelling, help, help, help. So finally, he would not come to the door. I knocked on the door. My son went around back to see if his gate was open. Oh, they're attacking me. Um, shit. Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna have to get in this car because they really. Now, back in the day when I was drinking red wine, I could see why the mosquitoes was on my ass, but I don't drink no more. And I've cut down on my sugar intake tremendously. So why they own me? Why they owe me? JJ9626 says, how can I stay spiritually motivated and focused in daily life while avoiding distractions? And what habits help build spiritual strength and consistency? That is a great question. I'll be honest, I'm not an expert in it. It is a daily fight and it is a daily struggle to try to stay spiritually fit. But have you ever heard that saying that says, move the body and the mind will follow? That is a mantra that I live by because sometimes we don't want to do things, but when we act them out, when we do it anyway, right? We take action, the brain eventually catches up and says, "Hey, this is not a bad idea. I'm actually enjoying this. Hey, this is actually working out for me." So my suggestion in real quick would just be to do what it is that you need to do, depending on what you believe in and what master you serve. If we're talking about Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, reading the word is probably going to be your best bet because it's going to tell you what you should be doing as a man, and woman, right? So when the Bible says man, it's talking about man and woman. So don't ever get that twisted thinking, oh, they're just talking to men. No, no, no. The Most High is talking to all of us, right? So you get in that word. You read Psalms if you need encouragement. You read Proverbs if you need instruction. Proverbs. Nothing is new under the sun. Anything that you're going through or have been through, somebody else has been through it before, and somebody else is going to go through it after you. But you get in that word and you pray daily, and then you act the way you're supposed to. The fruits of the spirits. Read Galatians 5. So all of those things, as far as the fruit of the spirit, even if you don't really feel it yet, just act it out. Just be long suffering, have patience. You might want to cut somebody out, but instead of doing that, just, I talked about this yesterday, just, right? And see what happens after that. That's what's worked for me. Mo fighting for her. I'm fighting for my life, Chelsea Lynn. Cal says Mo has that sweet blood. That's why she gets attacked by this. I know, but I ain't drinking no red wine. I did have a little sugar in my coffee today. Y'all see me sweating. It's hot in this car. My hair's turned into a fro. It was all nice and neat earlier. Now it's just like, this humidity ain't no joke, y'all. Why do you remind me of Chris's mom? And everybody hates Chris. Oh my gosh. I be going off like her sometimes. You talking about Tashina Arnold, aka Pam. Black Couch says to JJ, talking to God throughout the day helps me. Just anywhere, anywhere. You can talk to God. The Bible says to pray without ceasing. You talk to God. There's a lot of people that you'll hear online that'll say, God is busy. God ain't got time for you and your issues. God didn't already told you. You already know what you're supposed to do. Do not let Satan tell you not to pray and that you got it on your own. God is a supernatural God and he can do anything. So you talk to him. And that's what I do sometimes. I'm in these situations and I'm just like, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. Let me ask God real quick. You know what I'm saying? And he will guide you. You just have to listen. But I'll tell you what, JJ, the more tapped in you are, the more in you are with God, and the more you seek him, because God knows your heart. I don't know you or your heart. I don't know what you're really about, right? But God knows your heart. You could tell us, I could be on here lying to all y'all, right? But at the end of the day, God knows my heart. He knows what I really be thinking. He knows how I really feel. He knows what my true intentions are. You can't get nothing past him. But when you really open up your heart and you open it up to the word of him, and you get that discernment, all that stuff in you, he'll speak to you more, right? But talking to him daily, all day if you need to, that really helps. Gary says, allow the spirit to connect to your conscience and allow it to guide you with wisdom and understanding. If it gets deep, fast at your pace, endurance will get you through. Endurance, hanging in there, staying the course. Because at the end of the day, this ain't no race, it's a marathon. This is a marathon. All day, every day, until the day that God calls you home. You should be seeking him. Somebody in the chat before said that you're supposed to always be learning. Don't ever stop learning. Always seek him. His approval, everything, and always continue to give him the glory. Black Couch says, and pray out loud when possible. Satan hates that. Facts. Absolutely, he does. Yeah, God bless you too. Jesus is the only way. Can you send a $50 gift? You don't have to do that, Zeke. Don't do that. Keep your money, okay? Pay it forward. This is the reason why I'm talking about love thy neighbor, because I have to tell the story, not to be braggadocious or to make myself seem more important than what I am, or that I'm out here doing anything. And whoever sent gifts, thank you guys so much. Somebody else sent something. I missed it. I'm so sorry, but thank you so much. I do appreciate it. It's appreciated so much. So don't think it's not appreciated. Seek first the kingdom of heaven. Amen. Right? Seek him. Seek him first, and everything will be added unto you. God will provide as long as you seek him. I don't, and this is why I still be so baffled why there's so many people that are online denouncing God. It's like Satan really does have his way, you know? He really does. And it's unfortunate, but you got to fight it. So, anyways, I'm knocking on the door, right? I'm like, yo, Mr. Such and Such, where you at? And Bishop around back, his gate's locked, of course, can't get in. I said, I'm going to have to call the cops because I got to call the cops, right? I mean, this lady is in here screaming. The husband's cars are here, but he's not there. I don't know what the heck is going on right now. Mind you, they have been out before for a welfare check, so they're familiar with this family. Okay, these are two old people, and he is a Korean war vet, so I respect him a lot. So I call the cops. I tell them what's going on. They're like, okay, we're going to have to knock down this door. I say, could you please knock down the back door? Because this neighborhood is not that great. I don't want his front door, messed up. Can you please? So they go around back. The fire truck's there. The cops are there. They go around back. They knock that shit down, right? They finally get in there. So I'm still in the front waiting to see. They open up that door. Them cops, it was two cops, no lie, came around the side and was throwing up in the bushes because of what they saw. Vomiting. The poor wife who has dementia was on this hospital bed in the living room, and he was trying his best to take care of her, but he just couldn't. And I know sometimes he would get frustrated. I could hear him telling her, shut up, just he was just over it, right? And I used to tell him, I'm like, Mr. Stan, I know you're frustrated. I said, maybe you should put her in a home. I said, it's not safe. And he wouldn't let me in that house. They brought that big fan that you sit and you plug up, and it's just like a big industrial fan that you see in some of them gyms. They had one of them. They had put on hazmat stuff. This lady was covered in maggots. And I talked to the cops. He was asleep. Finally woke up, came downstairs, and they're like, sir, what's going on? And he's like, I don't know. You tell me. All right. So I begged one of the cops. I said, he's a war veteran. He's old. He's not all the way there himself. I said, please don't take him to jail. I know this looks like adult abuse, but he's trying. He's I promise you he's trying. They're like, no, no worry. We know Mr. Such and Such. We're not gonna take him to jail. They ended up taking that man to jail. They took her to the hospital, got her cleaned up, got her rehabilitated. He comes back home. He's like, do you know they took me to jail? And I'm thinking, well, you kind of let your wife sit up there and piss and shit and maggots covering her. Mr. Stan, come on now. I said, but I was rooting for you. I talked to the cops for you. He's like, I appreciate that. I said, listen, she can't come back here, bruh. She can't. I said, she can't. So he would go and visit her. I was like, you seen your wife today? Yeah, every day. Every day. I'm like, how's she doing? He said, she's hanging in there. She's the same. They're doing physical therapy and helping her, whatever. But she wouldn't walk. So she was kind of limited to downstairs. The bathrooms are upstairs. We got a downstairs bathroom, but it ain't a full bathroom, right? Anyway, what happened? So she ends up coming back, y'all. She comes back. I said, Mr. Stan, she can't be. Oh, I said his name. I said, she can't be here. Thank you, Brayley Burchett. I said, she can't be here. I said, you can't take care of her. I said, you're too small. You're too frail. You're not quite all the way. Yeah, she made it, but she came back, Frank. Frank Brown in the house. How are you? Miss seeing you. She came back. So all I did was just pray. And I was like, man, this is not going to be good because he can't take care of her. It's going to be the same thing. A month later, she passed away. So she passed away. What month are we in? April. She passed away in March. And I didn't even see the coroners or anything. I'm like, how did I miss this? Because I leave my windows open for the most part, and I'm home most of the time. I didn't see any of it. He knocked on my door. She gone. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Do you need anything? No, no, they took her. I said, well, they're going to have a service. He was like, I don't know. My sons are going to take care of it. I don't know. I'm like, well, if you need anything, you let me know. And he just looked so defeated. But at the end of the day, it was gonna happen, and she just wasn't. And she had that dementia like bad, where she was declining fast. Always check on those who are strong. They need support, maybe even more. That's right. Rest in peace to her. Yes. You find you've been busy. That's good. I'm glad, Frank. I'm glad you're doing well. So he tells me that, right? This man then lost so much more weight, and next thing I know, his truck that he uses to go fishing is gone. I'm like, where is his red truck? I ain't see his truck. I ain't seen him. Finally talked to him. He done gave his truck away or sold it to somebody. I'm like, but you use your truck to go fishing every day. I haven't been fishing in a year. What do you mean you ain't been fishing? You go fishing every day. Every morning you're gone when I wake up. What are you talking about? So his health is declining. He is not. So I'm just like, oh my God, this man. And then the other day, last week, he said, she's gone. She done took the dog and she's gone. I said, who? My wife, she's gone. And I'm like, oh my God. So I know a little bit about dementia. So you don't really just tell them, I wanted to say your wife died, but I'm like, no. I said, oh my gosh. I said, I'm so sorry to hear that. I said, I'll make sure I keep a lookout. He's like, okay, make a lookout. I said, she'll be back though. She'll be back. I said, yeah, she'll be back. Don't worry about it. You know, but he's leaving, he's driving, he's outside a lot. It's hot outside. I'm like, are you good? I was like, I need you to drink more water. Drink water, drink water, you know. But his health is declining. He's not knowing things. He's got these cats. He locked himself out. Just 3 days ago, he's getting mad at his car because he said the car ain't working no more. The car don't even work. I said, the car works. I said, where is your key fob? In the house? I said, you got to have your key fob in the car or else it's not going to turn on. I said, go inside and go find your keys. I said, I promise you the car works. Go get your key fob. He went and got his key fob. He came back. I said, start your car. I started up. I said, see? I said, I need you to always have this on you if you're trying to go somewhere. It's not that the car's not working. You just don't have the key fob, right? But at this point, I'm so worried about this old little white man. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So I see the cops out there talking to him one day. I run out there. I said, hey, y'all know he got, they're like, yeah, we're very familiar with him. We tried to get adult services out here, but what happens is when they come out here, he's able to say enough right things so that they don't take him or get him evaluated. I'm like, damn. I said, yeah, he's smart. I said, but his health is declining. I said, I need numbers to do y'all have numbers to his family? They don't have no numbers. I'm just like, ain't this some stuff? So anyways, he's telling me, hey, my sons are coming this Friday. We're going to go fishing. I said, great. Soon as your sons come, I need to talk to them ASAP. I said, you come knock on the door. I got to meet these people, right? Friday come and go. They never come. I'm like, Mr. Where's your sons at? Did they ever come? No, they never came. I said, well, where's your phone at? Because I don't have a phone. What you mean you don't have a phone? I threw it out. I threw it away. I threw that damn phone away. I don't need it. I said, yes, you do. You need a phone because you're out and about. Y'all, long story short, I said, you got to give me a number to somebody. Yes, he does. Gary, he has it. Can't tell them the truth. They will that's right. So I didn't say anything. Right. So he got 2 sons by his wife. They ain't shit. He goes and gets a number 2 days ago. I said, you got I said, I said, the police put one of your son's numbers on your fridge. I said, they told me they were going to put a number on your fridge. I need to see that number. So he brought me 2 little note cards, and one was for the cops and the other one was for a son. I said, great. I'm calling the son. I'm like, yo, who is this? He's like, who is this? I'm like, my name is Mo. I am neighbor to such and such. I am worried about him tremendously. I said, "Are you his son?" He said, "Well, I'm not technically his son." I said, "He's like my stepdad." I said, "Where are the other 2 sons?" He says, "I don't talk to them at all. They're not really around like that, and I don't have their number, and I work 6 days a week." "What up, Lee Turner?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "He told me you a hardworking man." He said, "Yeah, I work a lot, you know." He goes, "And I just had a baby 4 months ago, you know." He was like, "Well, what's going on?" So I sat there and I just told him everything. I said, "I want you to," he said, "Are you with him right now?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Can I please talk to him?" He said, "We've been trying to get a hold of him for a month now." I said, "Here." So he talked to him or whatever. And I said, "Anytime you want to talk to him, call me." I said, "I'm gonna go get him a flip phone tomorrow." They're like, "Fine, we'll pay you some money. Go get him a flip phone so he has communication." Bet, right? So the wife calls me. The wife called me. The stepson's wife called me yesterday. And she was like, "Can you just tell me what's really going on?" I broke it all down to her. I said, "It's not good. He cannot be alone." I said, "I'm worried about him being in this car." I said, "He tried to sell his Nissan for $1,000 to one of our neighbors." And I told her, "No, the fuck you not. You're not taking advantage of this old man. It's not happening." Right? I said, "I don't want nothing to happen to him. I need you." I said, "I know you're in a precarious situation. You have a newborn. I understand. And I know this is hard. I know this is hard." I said, "But you have somebody got to get this man." I said, "He don't even want to be here no more." I said, "His house smells bad." I said, He's not going to make it." And she was like, "Oh my God." So next thing I know, the stepson calls me today and he said, "I'm going to come get him tomorrow." I said, "Are you for real?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I took off." He said, "We're going to come. I'm coming to get him tomorrow morning." And I said, "Thank you." I said, "I know it's tough on you and your family." I said, "And I know this isn't your biological dad." He said, "Well, guess what?" He said, "He raised me most of my life." I almost started crying. He said, "That man raised me most of my life." He said, I have to do this." So he's taken off work. From what I understand, they're both very successful. The wife is a doctor. Turns out she's a black woman. Didn't know that. And they just had a baby and they have 2 dogs and they live in Maryland and they're gonna come and get him. And the reason I'm telling you guys all that, yeah, good for looking out, yeah. I mean, this man got his own life going on and a newborn and a wife, and he's gonna take this man in. You know, and if anybody knows how dementia works, once it starts going rapidly, they're not around much longer after that. Not to mention the fact that his wife is not here. He's not going to, so this is the best thing for him for these last couple months. But his 2 sons, his biological sons that he raised, they ain't and I'm so mad at them. Nobody has their number. They don't even mess with them. That's how much they just do their own thing. Yeah. Yeah. Sibling stuff is diabolical. It really is. But he's gonna do the right thing. And I told the wife, I said, "I promise you," I said, "God is gonna bless you guys for doing this." I said, "It's not going to be easy, but it's gonna be worth it in the end. And I promise you, God will make a way for you guys to be able to look after him and take care of your baby. God will give you the strength." And they're like, "You're right, you're right. We can do this. I know we can do this, you know?" But that's what family is for. I said, and that's what family is for. But the only reason I even felt comfortable enough talking to my neighbor, it's him, and then there's a older black lady that's on the side of him. I think she's Jamaican. She has a strong island accent, and her front yard is always immaculate. I know if I went in her house, it would be pristine. Beautiful lady. We always talking. My interactions was always just limited to, "Hey, how you doing? You anything good? Okay, bye." Or if I see him taking the trash out, I got that, or I'll make Bishop take the trash out. That was it until another YouTuber was talking about loving your neighbor. She said, "Do you guys even know your neighbor? You guys just walk past people acting like you don't, when was the last time you looked out for somebody other than you?" Was like, "Do you even ask your neighbors?" Because at this point, when she was on the YouTube, it was hot. It was summertime, and she was like, "You know, all these seniors are dying. They don't have air. They did it. Do you even go and check on your neighbor to see if they good?" And I said, "Dang, she right. She's right." So this was a year and a half ago. If I hadn't seen that video and heard her say that and take it to heart, I wouldn't have been comfortable enough to knock on my neighbor's door to even say, "Hey, can you move my car?" Because I normally keep to myself. I worry about me and my son, and that's it. And then there's the neighborhood kids who I, do things for here and there, nothing major. But to check on them, to knock on their door if I haven't seen them in a while, that's important. Lots of children check out of their parents' lives as the parents age. It's tragic. It's very tragic. They take advantage of them. They do all kind of stuff, right? But because of this one YouTuber said that to me, it empowered me to look more into my neighbor and to, be more involved. And because of that, this is where we are. It's all sad, but God don't make no mistakes. Everything happens and lines up the way it's supposed to. You know what I mean? And he let me in his house today, and I thought there was a dead animal in there. I said, "Mr. Where is the cat?" I said, "Is the cat in here?" I said, "Well, where's the dog at?" He's like, "Yeah, you need to take care of my dog when I'm gone. You need to make sure everything stays locked." I said, "And then can you watch?" I said, "I got you. I'm gonna check on it." I said, "And when the dog comes, I'm gonna let him in." He said, "Okay, I trust you." But it smelled like the carpet was so dirty, so dark. I said, "You got to pack your bags." I said, "Don't you go nowhere tonight. You be here when your son get here in the morning." He said, "I'm not going anywhere." I said, "Where's your medicine?" He goes, "It's right there." I said, "Okay." I said, "Where your clothes at?" He goes, "This is all I got, what I got on right now." "Did you eat today, Mr. Stan? Did you eat today?" "Yes, I ate twice." I said, "Okay." Stop it, couch. What up, Aunt Dog? Good to see you. Lady Diana, we know most of our neighbors. We feed each other and watch each other's homes while we're out of town. We trust some with our car and house keys. That's right. I tried to give him to give me his house key too, but he was like, "Mm-mm, I don't trust you like that," which is fine. But I told him, "You need to hang it somewhere where you can remember it, because I can't keep unlocking your door and then you got to worry about putting the lock back on, and this is not going to work." So he ain't locked himself out of his house um in about a month now. So um but yeah, that's good. You got to be there's somebody you got to be able to trust. You have to. It has me thinking about my own actions. That's right. And that's why I'm saying this, to pay it forward so that somebody else can hear this, because it just happened to be that somebody on YouTube was talking about how we don't check on our neighbors, especially the elderly ones or the ones with young kids. And because of that, we were able to get to this point. So I'm saying this to you so that you guys could be mindful of your neighbors. They're human. They've been through a lot. They may not be the nicest, but they're people, you know? The Bible commands us to treat our neighbors as we would treat ourselves, right? The first commandment is to love the Most High. The second is to love thy neighbor as you love yourself. Chelsea says, "My dad helped our old neighbor out. He was a former war vet." Yep. "My dad took care of the yard. My stepmom would bring meals. The daughter lived out of state, but at least she was involved until he passed." That's right. That's what we're supposed to do. Couch, you going to hell with a gasoline jar? Yes, he is. He is. Talking about the cat missing. He ain't slick. Yeah. That's where Chelsea get it from her daddy. YouTube live support. Somebody is spamming my channel. Good to see you too. Yeah. Um, but that's really all I wanted. I'm here at the soccer field. They almost done, and these mosquitoes. Y'all see this big ass mosquito? Y'all see it? Them things ain't no joke. Them things ain't no joke. That scared me for a sec. I don't know. I think it is. I think it's just like somebody trolling that makes their thing look. Hey, thanks, Brandon. That makes it look official. Because I don't know what community guidelines I would have broken. Um, on here, I'm just talking, running my mouth. I got 1.9K diamonds. That's cool. That's really cool. I like that. Um, what else did I want to say? Nothing else. Just love thy neighbors. It just I was on the Green Logbooks channel earlier today, and I went up on the panel for a little bit just to talk about like my military experience and things that I got going on after the military. But the one thing that we were talking about was gratitude and helping others. So it falls right in line with what's happening with me. It was like right on. It was like confirmation, right? Because he was talking about something he had did for an elderly person that had a young daughter that was trapped, not trapped, but stuck at the grocery store, and they weren't able to walk a mile back. So he ordered them an Uber, and he paid the Uber driver an extra tip because the guy would have needed help. And I was telling him, I said, sometimes in order to get out of our misery, to get out of our own heads, to get out of our depression, our sunken place, because I know I have that seasonal defective disorder or whatever, seasonal affective, when spring hit, not spring, but fall, right before fall hits, it's like a weird air in the air. And my mood starts to change and shift, and I don't feel so well. You understand? And a lot of times we get stuck in that funk, and it's actually really selfish, right? Because we're really just worried about ourselves. And so what I was telling him is that sometimes in order to get out of depression, to get out of that funk, to get out of that woe is me, you got to do something nice for somebody else. Sometimes if you just do something for somebody else, that in itself gives you purpose, it gives you drive, it gives you damn, they're just ruthless. It gives you it makes you feel good. It makes you feel better about yourself, you know? So doing something for somebody else can work wonders on our moods and on our attitudes. And you just have to try it. I don't understand the jewels. Thanks, Lee Turner, but I'll take it. I think it's cute. I don't know if it adds to money or anything, but I ain't got paid from YouTube in like, dang, it's been months. I got one YouTube check, and at first I thought it was all a hoax. I was like, YouTube don't really be paying like that. I got me a check for like $158, and it was all from super chats. So it finally collected. I had enough in order to cash out because I think YouTube takes like 30%. So I thought that was pretty cool. Mosquitoes loving the chocolate. They do. They love that chocolate. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? The blacker the berry, the sweeter that. Shout out to the Jewel Senders. They still playing out here, y'all. Um, but yeah. I went back and looked at my video from yesterday, and I did a lot of cussing on there. And I may just delete that video because um and I apologize to anybody that watched the video that was probably like, "Ooh, she's cussing a lot." It was actually embarrassing. They say when you cuss a lot is because you have a lack of vocabulary, right? You don't know enough synonyms to use in order to express yourself. I just don't know what's a good replacement for STFU. What can I say instead of shut the f-? I don't really know, right? But YouTube would highlight that and then make it a highlight. And I'm just like, why would you pick that of all things to highlight? So that kind of annoyed me, which I think maybe I'll just delete that highlight, even though it's got over 1,000 views. Mo, you're almost at 2,000 subs. Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever get there. I've been under 2,000 for like forever, like over 2 years. It took me a long time just to get like 400 subs. And then when I finally got like 1,500 and 1,600, I was like, okay. And I was at 1,700 for like almost a year. And then I finally made 1,800. So we'll see. I thought I had the lotion, bruh. I thought I did. I just looked throughout the whole car for my bug spray. But honestly, these mosquitoes, they not like that. These are super bugs, okay? These are super bugs, and they don't give a damn. So I might have to get some real strong. I don't know what's real good. Those of you guys that go hunting, what do you guys use? What do y'all use? Oh, I appreciate you, Gary. You going faster? You're at 5. Woo woo. Yeah, buddy. Chelsea Lynn, where are you at? You should be at enough watch time hours to be monetized by now. Because Chelsea Lynn been putting in work. And when I say work, I'm talking about live every day for hours. Those watch time hours really add up. So I'm really proud of the work that she's been doing. So you ready, son? Ooh, did y'all see that? He landed on my eye. Oh, you're here? Yeah. So how are you? Where are you at with the watch time hours, Chelsea Lynn? You should be there. Yeah, and dog. I'm in VA.
Hey, 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 it's me.
Say hi.
Hello.
How was practice?
Good.
Good? That's good.
I'm gonna throw up.
Why? What's wrong? Why you got to throw up?
I feel like I gotta throw up.
If you do, go over there to them bushes and do it. You nauseous? Did you drink all your water? What number are you? What's your number? What's your jersey number? 58? What number? What kind of number is that? We need single digits, bruh. Because you's a starter. Here. Why are you taking that jersey? Is that yours or are you supposed to turn that back in? Go turn that back in to Mr. Free Free nothing. Free nothing. Kids are your slaves, okay? They're supposed to do everything. Everything. You almost there, Josh Flag? Okay. Just keep going at it. Just don't give up. Me, this is, a hobby. So I just kind of do it whenever I feel the spirit to get online and talk and run my mouth. I have a little area set up, but it's uncomfortable for me to sit. So get your ball. So my little designated area that looks nice with my little light and all that is just never convenient for me. But I like what CDT had told Chelsea. You just have to schedule it. You have to schedule it and then stick to it. Whatever you say you're going to do. If you say I'm going live on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock, you do it. That's really just it. Planning. Planning is key.
It's very simple.
Very simple.
Very simple when you think about it.
Yeah.
Just plan. Oh my god.
I know they're huge. Look at them. They're like all over me. Ah, we got to go. Grab the ball.
Right before you fight a boss, there's just a giant amount of enemies. like you can't deal with it.
But for me, I can't operate that. I mean, I could. I used to go live every time he had boxing on Sundays. And whenever you go live every day or at a certain time, every time the algorithm recognizes it and pushes a lot of people to your channel. Night. Ew.
Chicken time! Look on your face, bro. You keep not getting it.
You keep falling for it.
Yes. What? Yes. And that's what?
When?
Like you fell for it. You trapped a mosquito in the thing.
I trapped him. Yeah, well, he gonna stay. Yeah. Ooh, I wish you guys could see them. They are huge. Oh, you locked out? All right, hold on. Come on. It's open. It's open.
Bro, there are some on the car.
Chelsea says last I checked, I was 60% complete on watch time hours, but I haven't checked. So also is to make sure you don't check it all the time. Don't check it every day. Just let it do its thing. It's, set it and let it. And just do your thing and try not to be consumed with it. Just do all the things. Make sure you put your hashtags, make sure you put descriptions, and keep uploading the shorts. And then just wait. But checking it constantly, it's like watching paint dry. You know what I mean? Oh, Cricree's here. Hey, Cricree. I'm sweating too. Josh Flag is hot. And these mosquitoes. Yeah, they want camera time. Lady Diana said, did you enjoy yourself practice, baby? Your leg got tired and numb. You got your compression You got your socks on. Maybe your thing is too tight.
No,
Yes, Lee Turner, it is chitlin flavored. I found it at the general store on the corner. I know. I need to know the good kind. Y'all that go hunting, tell me what is the good repellent. Because I one time I ended up getting I had that natural stuff. That natural stuff ain't gonna cut it.
because it's natural.
Right.
Those are effective.
Them bugs said them natural this natural spray ain't doing nothing, baby. See, now I gotta use my governments to drive at night, y'all. Ain't that? Oh, I miss my glasses. I'm praying that somebody will just walk up to me one day during the game and be like, "Are these yours?" That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I think is going to happen.
Oh yeah. Also, we have a game on.
You got a game this Saturday?
2:45.
2:45 Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
But really at 3.
Okay. I think Chelsea was live today. Oh, you didn't go live today. I'm taking a break to handle some things the rest of the week. That's good, Chelsea. We need a break. That's right. You can't, Michael Knight. You cannot serve God and money. You need one master, right? Sit down. Put your seatbelt on. What you doing? We driving. You cannot serve two masters. You can try. You can try. But it's not gonna turn out too well. We see Diddy and them locked up, serving two masters. That's what happens. The love of money is the root of our evil. That's right, Michael Knight. The love of it. Having money, there's nothing wrong with having money. We need it, right? It's a resource. We need money. So we're supposed to go out and work and, provide for ourselves and our families and things like that. But when we are over consumed with it, and then you think about the intention of why you want so much of it, it's really all about the intention. It's all about your intention. What you want to do with all that money. Why do you want all that money? What is it for? What are you willing to do to get it? That's the issue. What you willing to do for that money? For that almighty dollar? What that song say? People will rob their own mother for the love of money. People will rob their own brother. A money, money, a money, 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 a money, money, a money, 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 money. Shout out to New Jack City for those that know. Okay. We are called to share our blessings. That's right. You have to. I love it when I'm able to, help somebody out or give somebody a gift or, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have to advertise it either. Keep that between you and the Most High. That's how I stay blessed, just by doing things random or if a need is needed. You know what I'm saying? Pay for a kid to go to summer camp this summer if you got it. You know what I'm saying? Give a struggling mom, you know what I'm saying, $100 at the bus stop. You know what I'm saying? I mean, $100 a lot, but you know, like $20. You know what I'm saying? Like, just do something nice for somebody else other than yourself.
Yeah. One way you can do that is by liking, commenting,
Like
subscribing to our channel.
That's right, son. Say it again, son. Like, comment, subscribe. And ring that notification bell. What's for dinner, Mo? I baked some salmon. So remember how I was ranting about Panda Express and how they gave me this box this little? I could literally palm that whole box. I was like, and the noodles was dry, y'all. Listen, everything that I've eaten in the last month or so has been garbage. I went to this one Mexican restaurant where I will go every so often when I'm craving like some guacamole or some taquitos, some rolled tacos, something like that, right? I went there and I was like, well, I can't really eat chicken no more. Let me get a shrimp quesadilla, right? With some beans and rice and a salad on the side. They come with the lettuce, they put a little sour cream, a little tomato, whatever. I took that mess home. It was one flour tortilla bent over. It wasn't the whole flat tortilla with two pieces of tortilla with the cheese and like 4 shrimp folded over in a flat tortilla. I said, I know you lying. And that it just itself, the tortilla, just the shrimp quesadilla itself was like $14.99. So by the time I got the beans and the rice, and it comes with chips. It was like 20 something dollars. I paid 20 something dollars for that. I know you lying. So I ain't going back there. I should have went online and left a review, but I didn't. What else did we eat that was trash? There's a Thai restaurant that we like to go to on Fridays. Um, their portions have shrunk down. Their containers are smaller now too. And y'all know Thai food ain't the cheapest. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm gonna just have to cook more. That's it. Because usually I buy enough for me and my son, and then I'll cook enough to where we might have leftovers the next day. So I'll eat it for lunch, and then he'll eat it for dinner, and then that's that, huh?
And then I eat all the food.
Right, you're
And then I
supposed
have
to.
to buy more food by the next week.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just have to start cooking more. That way the leftovers last a little bit longer rather than me having to cook. Because I already cook 3 to 4 times a week. And then we have the leftovers for one day maybe. And then, especially like on Fridays, or like tonight, like on a Wednesday when he has a game, we'll stop at Panda Express, or we might get Zaxby's chicken dinner strip or something like that. But it's not number one, the food is trash and they charge too much and the portions are smaller. If them ain't three good reasons to stop eating this crap, I don't know what is. And it's just frustrating. But this is the way everything is going. And this is really just a sign for me to stop eating out. I mean, just is what it is. I'm just gonna have to. Canes, Raising Canes is okay. Mo, you are amazing. So grateful God sent you my way. Oh, Chelsea Lynn, you're so sweet. And thank you for shouting out my video yesterday. Did you notice how none of the black men in your chat had anything to say about what you were saying? And this is exactly what I'm talking about, though. It's the lack of support. You understand what I'm saying? So you see it firsthand what we have to go through. And the thing is, to be honest, I don't need your advocacy. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I have God and I have myself. I got enough esteem to uplift myself. And there's enough sisters of us that we can help each other and lift each other up. But it is appreciated. It is appreciated, the acknowledgement. You know what I mean? That means the world, truly. So I appreciate you. Um, this is why I don't eat out anymore, because Bishop, can you read that? Because I can't drive and read at the same time. Can you see that? Chelsea Lynn's comment right there. This is why I don't eat out. What else did she say? Because the quality ain't what it used to be. It's garbage. And these people don't care. They don't put no love in their food. They're just whipping. Yeah, they just there to do a job. And because everybody is understaffed, it's hard to do quality work because you're doing the job of two and three other people. So I understand, it all makes sense. Why am I spending money on good money too? But every time I go somewhere, I'm just constantly being reminded, you know? The only time I get something satisfactory is if I go to Little Caesars and I have to go in and order. Don't let me order online and go pick it up. I'm gonna bring it back home. It's gonna be trash. I gotta walk in, tell them what I want. They make it right then and there, and it's great. But when I order, yeah, the last time. So um, tonight we got salmon. I took a potato out. I'm probably gonna make them some mashed potatoes with it. I'm not hungry. Stop and get some fresh veggies. I think we still have some carrot. I don't know. We might have some still veggies. I think we got some lettuce. So we have salad, mashed potatoes, and salmon. That's what we're gonna have for dinner tonight. But because I didn't buy enough, I usually only buy enough for us to have leftovers the next day. You know, so I'm gonna have to just start buying more of the protein and more of the veggies. That way we have more leftovers to last us a little longer. I can eat leftovers the next day, and then sometimes maybe depending on what it is, the day after that. But the day after that, I can't eat no more than that. I can't. I'll make a pot of greens, eat on it for 2 days, and then I'll freeze the rest because I cannot. Even if I love that food, I can't do it for more than 2 days. I just can't. I used to be the leftover queen. The older I got, the more I'm like, hell no. Mm-hmm.
I have a question. What do
What up
mosquitoes
next
do?
with Ilmar? Huh? Lamar, huh?
What do mosquitoes do? Like, they don't do anything besides be pests to every animal alive.
Yeah, it's their job. But where are they in the whole? What were you learning about the food chain or the
Food chains and food webs.
Yeah. So where are they on that? Which animals eat the mosquitoes? Because if the mosquitoes were here, then what animal wouldn't be able to feast on them?
I don't know because I had to do world language during that time when we were doing the food chain activity.
Ah, okay. 2-day max on leftovers. I know that's right, Chelsea Lynn. Like, mm-mm. Oh, and then the other day, now it sounds like I eat a lot of fast food. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I've been sick lately. Okay, I was down for the count, whole spring break. So I ain't even gonna lie. I made him something to eat maybe twice. The rest we was eating out. So we tried last Friday, um, Steak and Shack. What's this place called? Shake Shack. It's new. It's been here for about 7 months. Looks nice. I'm like, let me go in here. Let's try Shake Shack. I got a mushroom portobello sandwich. He got a double cheeseburger with bacon, fries, and I got onion rings. That bag was so light. I was like, how is this a burger? 2 burgers, and it's so. Oh, you get avocado on it, right? We took them things out. Y'all want to know how big them burgers were? I said, I know you. Guess how much I paid for the meal? Portobello mushroom. Yep, there it is. Shake Shack. Portobello mushroom burger, onion rings, fries, and a double cheeseburger. No drinks. How much y'all think I paid? 3 days is the max. Then it's either going in the freezer or trash. Bingo, depending on what it is, right? Shake Shack's popular here in Carolina, but never ate there. Don't waste your money or your time. You got it, Chelsea Lynn. It was like $32 because I put a $2 tip on there. $30 for 2 burgers this small. It couldn't even fit in my whole hand. I said, and every time I just shake my head and I'm like, well, let me just try somebody somewhere new. Maybe they'll be quality. Nope. No. So I'm done. I'm done. It's going to be Little Caesars only, and I'm going to have to walk in and order it, and that's it. Other than that, I'm just going to have to suck it up, buttercup, and cook. Because these people got me effed up. That's $30 I could have put on a stock. Put me on the prices right, yeah.
Or things like that, so I can't really tell what's good. Well, if I'm not looking at the size of the burger, which still could not fit my hand either.
Really?
And I'm a kid.
And you're a kid, yeah. So, anyways, I shouldn't be driving in on here. I'm gonna go. I'll check you guys later. I'm gonna see Cree Cree on the thing. If I come on Cree Crew Connection, I gotta make sure I do my hair. I'm put some makeup on. I'm gonna make sure I show a little muffin action, right? Because I gotta be, you know that. So it's not gonna be tonight. You gotta let me know when you're doing Cree Crew Connections. I'm a DM you, Cree Cree. I'm a DM you, okay? And so who else? Cree Cree, and then CBT Beat. No, what we call, what Derek call him? CPB Beats. CDB Pete's. I'm gonna be on CBD Pete's chat back and forth between him and Cree Cree. So I'll see you guys there later tonight after I do my homework. I gotta post, I gotta respond to do 2 people, and then I gotta do some research for my next post. And so once I respond to the 2 people and do research for my next post, then I'm gonna be online, in the chat, trolling per usual, because that's what I do. Mo muffins, mo muffins, mo muffins, mo muffins. I don't eat out anymore, says Chelsea. Yeah. Yeah, grocery store. I be in the grocery store. I feel like I be at the grocery store than any other store. When I look at my statements, it's all Food Lion, Commissary, Kroger. Everything is grocery, grocery, grocery. I'm like, I stay in the dang on grocery store. I feel like I'm there more than anything. Mm. My love language is the grocery store, huh? Yeah. CDB Pete's. Derek is a hater, man. Derek is a hater. He be talk about CDT Beats, but he call him CBDP, acting like he don't know his name. Quit fronting. Ain't no future in the fronting. But anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. Love ya. Bye.